Uh-oh. Get ready for what's probably the greatest entertainment news talk show out of Austin, Texas. Get ready for everything entertainment news and talk. And now, here's your host, Clint Baker. Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Everything Entertainment News and Talk. Man, we're going to have a hell of a show for you tonight. We're going to be talking about the Colonel book. Man, we got a new Ghostbusters. We got Dirty Dancing. Christian Bale back as Batman. Or is he? The Umbrella Academy, The Boys, Winona Ryder, fact-checking, Taika Waititi, happy with his movie. Just so many things that we're going to talk about today. But before I can do that, I got to bring in my homies. I got to bring in my guys. I got to bring them in. So let's talk to the gang. Action News Team, assemble! How we doing, guys? We're gonna... Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
I got Curtis, CB3 up here on my left.
Oh, yeah.
Down low, I got Derek in the house. What's up? And this week, for the first time ever on the Everything Entertainment News and Talk show, we got Charlie. Charlie, how you doing, man?
Pretty good. Thanks for having me, man. I've been watching for a minute, and I'm glad to be on finally.
Dude, we're glad to have you. Man, you sound good, too. Holy crap.
I wonder how that happened. That's crazy.
It's super weird. I'm not even doing it. Good man. Man, we got an exciting show today, man. How's everybody doing? Curtis, I know you saw Lightyear. Give us the 15 second thoughts on that, and then we'll pass it over to Derek and see how he's doing.
As an adult, you're probably not going to like it that much. As a kid, you're probably not going to like it that much. It's just not very good. I don't know how they could screw up an IP that's so established, but they really, really did.
Now that we got that professional take right there, how's your personal life doing? How'd your week go? You have a good week?
Yeah, pretty good. Nothing too strenuous. I'm rebuilding a fence next week, so that's going to suck. But this week is all right.
Well, at least you get to go to the movies. That's cool. How about you, Derek? How you doing, man?
I'm good.
How many films are you starring in this week? Any auditions? Anything fun?
Not yet. No, I was gonna lie, but no.
Just say, oh yeah, dude, I'm doing all kinds of stuff. Any casting directors out there watching? Dude, I can barely get him in here. It's crazy. What about you, Charlie? You having a good week?
Yeah, man. Enjoying the summer. About to go home with the fam and watch the new Stranger Things finale for the season.
Dude, we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. Yeah, Stranger Things kicking butt, man. I've had a good week. I've just been chilling. Put some videos out this week and just doing the thing, hanging out with the dog, and lots to watch on at the theater and at home. And man, I could barely keep up. But I guess let's say hi to the chat real quick, and then we'll get into it, man. Let's see what we got going on up here. Where's the chat at? There they are. All right. Holy cow, we got Bakertown in that. Just kidding. We got Bobby. What's up? Oh, boy. We got Bobby in the house. We got Melissa. Yeah, Mel. All right. Well, hello to everybody out there.
We got Nat and Ramlin Pickler too. I don't know if they're.
Oh, I see Nat over there.
They were a little bit up there. Yeah.
Awesome. And Pickler, good to have you back. All right. Well, let's quit dicking around and get into the good stuff, man. What do you guys say?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
All right.
Let's do this, man.
Yeah, Clint, quit dicking around. All right, let's see what we got here. First on the menu, we got. All right. So I'm looking at all my toys here. All right, Alana Nash's 2000 biography on Colonel Tom Parker and Elvis Presley has become a #1 bestseller on Amazon following Baz Luhrmann's new Elvis biopic that has premiered in this past week, says Variety. Man, I think this is cool. This is a product of
new media influencing old media. We just seen this recently with Kate Bush's song being featured on Stranger Things, and now all of a sudden she's topping the charts in the UK. I know for a fact. I haven't looked at the charts lately, but I think it's really exciting to be a writer or a musician or somebody and have done something a long time ago, and then it gets used in something current, and then all of a sudden you're back in the fold. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. Like this author could turn around and write a new book now, and all of a sudden have a resurgence in their career. I think it's also cool when you consider like. I've been around for a while now. It's my way of saying I'm getting older and seeing different things. And, you know, I used to have a record deal and whatnot, and it was all about having your CD or record on the end caps at the record store, and that was key to selling stuff. Now we live in a world with infinite record space. Their shelf space is infinite, and anybody can just stumble across your stuff, and next thing you know, if it's good, the cream rises to the top. If you get a bump from the right person on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, you've got a chance. I think it's really exciting for, anybody from an independent filmmaker or writer or musician to an old when you thought washed up musician or author. Like I could have a song all of a sudden that popped up from my 20-year-old record deal, and all of a sudden I'm current again. I don't think that's going to happen. I think my home's here on YouTube, but I just think it's exciting and it's an interesting thought. But I don't mean to go off on that rant. But Curtis, you've read the Colonel. I recommended that book to you. I really, really enjoyed it because it talks about the inner dealings of Tom Parker and Elvis and whatnot. I don't know if you finished it or not, but what are your thoughts on that book? And do you think the author deserves a resurgence?
Yeah, I absolutely do, because I noticed now as I was listening to the book before and after I had seen the movie, and it seems like they pulled a lot from that book. I mean, there's tons. It's a biopic, so there's tons of Elvis's life that's recorded and stuff like that. But it did. That book was focused a lot on the Colonel, and the movie didn't. Focused on Elvis, but it showed a lot more of the Colonel than we normally see in movies like that and stuff. And I would say that if you do enjoy the movie, the book obviously goes into way more detail. I listened to it on Audible, and it was about 15 hours, but it didn't feel like it. It went by pretty quick. And I would absolutely recommend it to you. It's not surprising at all that it came back to number one.
Have any of you guys read that book, the Colonel, Charlie or Derek?
No.
I have not.
It's. Oh, go ahead, Charlie.
Oh no, because I know you guys did your episode last week on Elvis on the movie, and obviously I knew a lot about Black history, and I kind of had my preconceived notions of Elvis in general, and you guys really kind of brought a lot of stuff to my attention that I didn't really think about. So having a book that kind of goes into the inner dealings of how all that stuff went down would be kind of interesting. I would be interested in checking that out.
Yeah, dude, I would really recommend watching the movie because it wraps it up in a couple of hours that you can digest quickly. If you're fascinated, you want to know more, you can read the book. They kind of glaze over some of that stuff in the movie, but it's just, anything from like the Colonel. When I had a record deal and I had a manager, they're making like 20%. You know, that was a standard a manager. Elvis's manager, the Colonel, was making 50%, and then it got to a point where the manager was making 75% of the money. And Elvis is just going along with it, and he just all he wanted to do was play music and do his thing. You know, he grew up in music. He loved music. He got swindled into making movies, which he was kind of interested in, but then like, you're going to make them for years, you know, and then he gets swindled into playing a casino. He's like, well, cool, I get to do whatever I want. Yeah. All right. Well, like, yeah, 6-7 weeks in a casino. That's pretty good. That's fine. I'll make some money and I get to do whatever I want. Next thing you know, he gets swindled into doing 6 years in a casino and all he wants to do is travel and tour and play music it's insane. Like it makes you really feel bad for Elvis because, he was an entertainer and not a businessman, and I feel like that happens a lot. Like businessmen have a way of really screwing over talent. Anyway, yeah. So check it out, man. Like check out that movie. It's really good. Like I really enjoyed it. Curtis, you were gonna say?
Well, no, and I was going to say, and you've got to think too. For anybody who doesn't know or isn't thinking how evil that is, Elvis is doing all the work, but besides that, you got to think too. His rates went up after Elvis was famous. Elvis was the most famous person in the world, and then the manager promoter's like, "I need more money. This is hard work." Like, a sock full of rocks could have done the Colonel's job once Elvis was that big, and like his rates go up. So it's just ridiculous.
And I'm sure there was a whole bunch of really good managers who would have just clawed and scratched to get into that position, but somehow he had a hold of them. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating book if you're an Elvis fan, and we got a lot of Elvis fans that have watched the video that we posted. We did some reviews on Elvis, and I've had some really cool interactions. People telling us like, yeah, he was from Holland. The Colonel was from Holland. When we were talking about his accent, that he was good friends with B.B. King, which is cool. They show that in the movie too, and it's like. He's just a guy that grew up listening to music that influenced him, and he was trying to spread that music and that just spread that energy out, and he had a lot of hiccups, and it's unfortunate. But anyway, it's a great movie. Go watch the movie, and if you're looking for a great read, it's a great read. And I'm a guy with a short attention span. There's not a whole lot of books that I could say, hey, I started and read cover to cover and didn't either have a long pause or just got distracted and started something else. This book I read front to back fast and enjoyed the hell out of it. So check it out. What do you guys in the chat think about the Elvis movie if you have seen it yet? And anybody out there who's read the book and likes it, or read it and didn't like it, let us know in the comments on this video. And all right, let's move on. Clint, I got a question. Melissa says, Clint, do you have ADHD? I was in a band called Ritalin Kids.
It's so funny. I'm sorry.
Ritalin Kids.
I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Because it's hilarious. That's what. Yeah. In fact, there's a reason there's no squirrels in here. Because I'd be like, but yeah. Well, let's move on to the next topic. The next topic is, holy crap! Boom. As reported earlier, Top Gun Maverick crossed $1 billion, I almost said trillion, $1 billion globally in just 31 days, making only the second time a movie has hit such a height during the pandemic and setting by far Tom Cruise's highest grossing movie. We talked about, I misspelled movie, but yeah, we talked a lot about this movie off and on throughout the weeks where we just keep bringing it up. And the only reason is because this movie had legs, man. It should have fallen off and we should have moved on to another story. But then every time we turn around, we're like, wow, now it's crossed 800,000 or 800 million. Now it's crossed 900 million. And now it's crossed $1 billion. And it's high. I'm going to give the air horn for to Tom Cruise. One of the biggest stars in the world. He's never had $1 billion movie before. And after a long career, I'd say he deserves that because he cranked out a good movie, not because he took a recognizable IP and just made a movie. That's basically what we all thought we were getting. We all thought, okay, everybody knows Top Gun. They're just going to run this into the ground, and they're just exploiting this familiar thing, and everybody likes fast things. We all went to see F9. People will probably enjoy this. You get some good camera angles. It's going to be an exciting show, and an exciting movie, and that's what they could have done, but instead they made an exciting movie that also was a good movie. And if you make quality films, and this is going to be a big theme of today's show, if you make quality movies, people are going to go out and really are going to support that. So did everybody how about Derek, did you finally see Top Gun?
No, I haven't seen Top Gun yet.
Dude, you got to experience
missing-
that in the theater while you can, dude. It's really good. How about you, Charlie? Have you seen Top Gun Maverick?
I did. My best friend, one of my best friends in Tennessee, he went and saw it. And he was like, "Yeah, man," because we had talked about it when it was coming out, and I think he had seen the first one. Obviously, in my head, it's another sequel movie. It's gonna be bad. He's like, "No, dude, you gotta check this out. It's a bunch of dope stuff." Then there's memes all over TikTok about like certain scenes about like the shirtless dudes and whatever. It's just a lot of different things about this movie that everybody's loving for whatever reason. I don't know why. I gotta check it out.
I can tell you, it's because it's a good story. Like we all thought, it's like a race car movie. Everybody loves a good race car movie, and that's fine. Jets with modern camera technology, of course, it's going to be fun to watch. But and Tom Cruise usually doesn't mess around with flops, so that means we're going to get at least a 75-80% movie, which is good enough if you got a bunch of fast-moving, shiny things to watch. It's going to be it'd be a popcorn movie, but instead there's feelings. Like you feel stuff, and you have sympathy and love and loss and all these feelings in this movie. Curtis, you look like you're like, I'm not going to feel crap if I go see that movie.
No.
Spotlight's on you, man.
I'll check it out. I'm probably gonna wait for streaming though.
Yeah.
Debbie Downer.
Wah, wah. Well,
Party pooper.
yeah, this is supposed to be a short segment on that, and basically lead into the next story, kind of segue into the next story. Have you guys seen Top Gun? Go check it out while still in the theater. Go try and see it in IMAX if you can. 4D, even better. I think I'm gonna go do that with the rumbling chairs, like when I saw Pacific
That'd be cool.
Rim.
That'd be really cool.
Yeah, be super cool. But yeah, that leads me to this. Boom. Box office comeback. Why movie theaters are finally feeling optimistic. Yeah, and that is a picture of Elvis right there. But need proof the box office is really truly rebounding from COVID? Look no farther than optimistic charts where not one, not two, but 4 movies, a mix of releases from and we'll talk about all the movies that are out in the theaters right now. All of these movies are showing up in the theaters, and look at this. Look at this right here. Bam. We got Top Gun, which is in week 5, it makes $30 million. We've got, I got to get rid of this thing here. Week 3 for, come on, computer. There we go. There it is. Week 3, 26.4 million for Jurassic. We got Elvis, 30. We got Black Phone. We're like, what the hell is that movie? At 20. That's 4 different movies. There's something interesting about these movies too. Look, none of them are comic book movies, but they're all kicking ass. And like, how is this possible? What the hell's going on? How is this possible? It's possible because we're back. The movies are back. Like, and you know, I think we're gonna keep having flare-ups of COVID off and on here and there. But I think it's pretty exciting that we got all of these movies, because I'm a huge movie fan, and I refused to believe. I'm like, maybe streaming is filling in the gaps and providing some solid entertainment, but I refuse to believe that the movies are done with, and that's a thing of the past. I was having a conversation with Curtis and a friend, Mike Martin, who's an Austin comedian friend, great dude, and we were talking about that, like the experience of enjoying these movies. When you're watching Endgame and you see Mjolnir fly into Cap's hand, and then you hear
spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert! If you haven't seen when you hear Falcon say on your left and all that, and the adrenaline when you see Nathan Garfield pop into the picture, like you can't experience that in the same way at home as you do when you're in a room full of people who are all just as stoked. It's like going to see a band or an artist live. Like it's like going to a play. It's like there's something about being in the room with other people. It's a shared vibe, and we get that from movies, and that's why I think movies will never go away. But I think it's exciting. And I think all these crybaby filmmakers that are a little bit jealous because comic book movies do well, that say, "Oh, you can't do it." Woody Allen's one of them. He's like, "I don't think I'm going to make maybe 1 or 2 movies left in my life because the movie theater thing is just going down." Well, he's also 86 years old, dude. You'd be lucky if you could pull off 1 or 2 more movies. Come on, man. But it just made me shake my head, like for him to say, movie theaters are done. I'm like, no, they're not, and this is proof. And I didn't mean to go off on such a long rant, but we'll start with Derek. Derek, you're an actor. What do you think about that? The idea that there's 4 movies in the theater that are all just destroying, and also, do you have any interest in seeing any of those movies, or have you seen all of them? And what was your favorite? What do you got to say about all that?
I am behind on the movie going, unfortunately, but I do agree with you. I love going to the movies. I do want to see Elvis. You've got me interested in Top Gun now, because I was there with you. I was like, they keep making these sequels, 10 to 30 years later, and they're like, yeah, that wasn't good. They never are. But hey, if you say it's good, I'll check it out. Where was I going with this? Ooh, I really do want to see The Black Phone. That's one that I was actually really excited about. I didn't realize it was out already, so I might need to do that pretty soon. But I'm excited about this because I love comic book movies and superhero movies, but for the longest time, I haven't really been interested in anything else but them. So to see that non-superhero movies are making money, I really enjoy that. That's cool.
I think it's super exciting, personally. Charlie, what about you, man? Do you have any movies that you've seen? Any of these movies that you've seen, or are you thinking about going to see, or that you're excited about, or what do you got?
So definitely The Black Phone for sure. I recently talked to another one of my friends that's seen it, and I'd seen the trailer for it a while back, and I'm like kind of like with Derek, I didn't know it was out yet until my friend told me. And for me, especially, like if you watch any part of our podcast, we love horror. I'm a huge horror fan. So the fact that we have another good horror movie, I'm like, yeah, we got another one. We're in there. The genre is like, it's not dead yet. My I guess a little theory I had in regards to why everybody. I think this is a great thing, but I think this is more of a product of coincidence and timing than anything else. Just for the fact, I think a lot of people thought the movie theaters were dying. 1, because of COVID, because people couldn't go, and then 2, because because of COVID, a lot of the movies and products that came out in that time frame in like the last 2 or 3 years were either rushed or cut or weren't really able to give the full amount of time that they needed to be great content. So I think the cause of that was that we got a lot of mediocre to bad movies in theaters. And then you look at streaming services, they're able to do their stuff outside of that. So you had like a million different shows and movies that were popping off during the pandemic. And I think we're going to have a equilibrium now where movies are going to kind of be on par with streaming services now, because people can kind of work on their movies and have the time to make the content the way they want to make the content.
I think you're absolutely right. I was also talking about this the other day with a friend. I think that I think the friend was Curtis, but I think that movie studios were releasing the mediocre movies because they didn't want to leave money on the table. Like, look, we're gonna we don't want to release this yet. It's going to fail. This is easily a $900 million movie. We'll probably make 300 if we put it in the theaters right now. We don't want to release it till the pandemic's over. We're just and I think they kept doing that and kept doing that and kept doing that. And I mean, Top Gun got pushed back like 3 years. Like, it's insane. Geez, how long has the Flash been in the works?
That's not coming out.
That's a whole another. And I've heard it talked about on another show, but they're like, yeah, they announced the Flash movie when they started the Flash TV series, and that was 9 years ago. They're on season 9 of the Flash. That's when they announced the movie. So which is hilarious. I'll give props. I heard that on the Campia show, John Campia show. They were saying that. I was like, that's true. That's ridiculous. But yeah, but I think you're right, man. Like we got a bunch of mediocre movies during the pandemic. They didn't want to release anything good, or they couldn't do the production. Like they had to do limited productions. A lot of shows. Like if you watch Star Trek Discovery, they had a whole season where it's like 4 characters because they couldn't get a whole bunch of people together. They did limited casts and stuff to avoid people getting sick, which is just, it's nuts. It's just a thing that humans and the industry had to work through, and we're through that now. Now they're releasing all the good movies. They decided it's okay. Let's release them all. And now we're getting them all. We got 4 great movies all at one time. None of them are comic book movies, but that's okay because we got Thor coming, and that's going to completely kick ass too. And we're going to talk about that in a little bit. Real quick, I'm going to look at the cast. But what about you guys out there? Have you seen any of these movies? Are you excited about seeing in these movies? Let us know in the comments your thought on these movies. And when I say these movies, I'm talking about these movies. Kicking ass in the theater. Hallelujah. All right. And now, and what about you guys up here in the chat? How you guys doing? If they, let's see, what do we got? Ethan Hawke. Yeah, Ethan Hawke's badass. Black Phone is supposed to be really good. I've heard a lot of good things from a lot of people about Black Phone. Curtis, you love horror. Have you heard about this movie?
Yeah, and I can't wait to see it again too. I was kind of surprised that it was already out. I didn't know it was coming out already. I'm glad that it's doing so well, because if you look at those movies, they're all visual spectacles, which is kind of why you go to the movies. I mean, except for Black Phone. I mean, I haven't seen the movie. Maybe it is, but I mean, even Elvis was like a visual movie. Like it looked great on screen. It was a big film, and Black Phone for a horror movie to be up there with them like that, it makes me really happy. We've been blessed with some good horror in the past few years, and horror is getting a lot more of its due than it's deserved for a long time. So I will be seeing it soon, and I will let you know what I think.
Charlie, you look like you're about to say something.
No, I just love horror. I'm just
Yeah.
with him on that one. I feel like it's a really disrespected genre, and I think it's
Yes,
like
very much.
the more good movies, I'm like, the better it looks in the light. I think it's gonna make a big comeback pretty soon.
I think it's already started. Like, there's been a lot of good stuff that's been popping up in the last couple of years. Honestly, let's talk to the chat for a second, man. We got Jedi Master EJ in the house. What's up, dude?
Welcome, EJ.
Yeah. We got G-Nat. Where's that Nat? Just kidding. I saw Jurassic World and thought it was all right. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great. There are many points where the writing was just dumb. Yeah, man. Chloe's in the house.
That's what I'd heard about it.
Yeah. Like I talked to Edward about this movie, and we did a video about it, and it was, if y'all haven't seen it, it's I had a conversation actually with a guy out in public where we were talking, and he said, "Man, I don't need a gourmet meal. I just want some entertainment." And I go, "Well, dude, you're gonna have a good time then, because you're gonna have Dallas Bryce Howard being scared of the giant dinosaur in her face and doing all the amazing horrified faces that she makes when she's really in front of a green screen and there's nothing there. She's brilliant. But and you're gonna have all the fun quips and one-liners from Jeff Goldblum, and you're gonna have Chris Pratt being Chris Pratt. Now it's a fun movie, but it's not a rocket science of a movie. What is almost rocket science is how they managed to create such a convoluted storyline to bring all these characters together from the old to the new, and that's the deal. So it is kind of convoluted. If you're a film student, you might throw your nose up in the air, but if you're just looking for dumb entertainment and you didn't mind the car going into space on F9, then you'll have a good time. People are like that car could never work, and we're like, yeah, dude, it's called fiction. It's supposed to be ridiculous, You don't watch Crank. If you can't handle the car in space, do not watch Crank. Have you seen
any of the Fast and Furious movies where they like pull a safe out and we're driving with a safe on the street somehow?
Yeah.
We jump from one car.
My favorite. I don't remember which one it was. I don't know, 6 or 7. But Vin Diesel is surrounded by people, and he's on the edge of a mountain. He's just like, I know how to get out of this. And just drives off the mountain, crashes down the mountain, and walks out. It's like, yeah, death-proof car. Like, no scratches. Like, yeah, that's how you do that. you're
And
in the
his
car, you're
t-shirt
fine.
is still perfectly white t-shirt. Like
Oh,
that
yeah.
t-shirt never gets any stains. Any like,
No wrinkles.
No wrinkles. Yeah, it's perfectly pressed. Yeah, it's hilarious. Yeah, and spoiler alert for F9, the magnets. Come on, guys, the magnets. What can we do to make the over the top? What about magnets? All right, let's do magnets. That's hilarious. Yeah, the magnets. Spoiler alert. Well, cool. Let's jump into the next thing. Speaking of running old properties into the ground, I gotta get rid of that. The sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife that Sony teased at CinemaCon in a sizzle reel, which director Jason Reitman and writer Gil Keenan confirmed on Ghostbusters Day, June 8th, is getting a theatrical release of Wednesday, December 20th, 2023. This comes to us from Deadline. So we got Ghostbusters Afterlife sequel coming. That's got a release date, and it is a Christmas release. So they probably have a lot of faith in this script or in just the performance of the last one. It's got the movie people excited if they didn't release this, in the summertime or some other time. So, are you guys excited? I enjoyed the last one. I thought it was good. I mean, it's not my favorite movie that came out last year, but it was fun popcorn entertainment. You know what I mean? And so now I feel like we're gonna have like the younger generation Stranger Things kind of cast for Ghostbusters, which even has one of the cast members, which is also invading into Star Wars. It looks like they want to make John Watts is doing the Goonies style adventures with a bunch of kids running around in the Star Wars universe. And so I guess the performance of Stranger Things is just like, hey, we need our version of a Goonies, of a Goonies Stand By Me thing. And so everybody's doing it. But so it's basically what the Sony people have now is they have Ghostbusters that they have handed the torch down to the younger generation. And so we're going to have young Ghostbusters moving forth, with the ghost of Egon guiding them. What do you guys think about this? Are you excited? Or are you like, dude, I had enough with the last one. I don't need more Ghostbusters. They should just hang up the proton packs. What do you guys think? We'll start with Charlie. What do you think, man?
Great. See, I have a unique perspective on, well, maybe not that unique, but Afterlife, I did not plan to see that movie at all. But I went home and my little cousins were like, we want to go see it. And to put it in perspective, my little cousins are like 5 to 3 or 4. And the movie was fun. Like, to me, like, it wasn't, like you said, it wasn't a gourmet meal, but I genuinely had fun watching that with my little cousins. It's I think it was fun. I didn't see any writing or anything that was too too crazy for me where I didn't like it. I'll see where it goes. I mean, it's not, at the end of the day, it's something entertaining and something to watch with your family. I don't think it'll be too like a Christopher Nolan movie or anything like that.
Yeah, I could. That's basically how I feel about it. Derek, what about you, man?
I don't care.
I don't even need to give you full screen for that one. I don't care.
No, I'm completely neutral. Like, it doesn't bother me that they're continuing Ghostbusters. It's fine. It's probably not for me. If somebody wants to go watch it and wants me to come with them, I'll check it out. But yeah.
What was the first thing you said again?
I don't care.
How about you, Curtis? Man, how are you feeling about it?
I was one of the few that did not like the Afterlife movie. It was just anytime I put on a Ghostbusters movie for my kids, it's always fun. And to me, it wasn't that fun. It was like a family drama, and stuff like that. The young lady in there did such a great job. I'd love to see her on film again. It's funny to me. I know that Mike from Stranger Things was the lead for a good while, but it's like Sony, you bet on the wrong horse. Like I don't see him going anywhere after Stranger Things. He's such a goofy looking dude. just, I don't know. Like I think it'll be okay, but I don't know. I'm not excited, and I don't know. It felt, at least at the very end, it felt like a good ending um, to the franchise, I guess. And then now they're kind of switching that up. So I don't know. Like it's kind of weird, but it's not surprising at all that they're going to continue with it.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. Like, I think that's weird. We got stuck on this. Boom. It. I kind of agree with everybody. Like, I went into this not being excited about it. I thought this is going to be one of those things like Top Gun. The way I felt about that. This probably be entertaining, but I think maybe you're treading on holy ground with Ghostbusters. I was a huge Ghostbusters fan, especially Ghostbusters 2 with Vigo the Carpathian. A big time, man. I love that movie. And also, there was so many quotable lines. That's a fun thing about the movies that I grew up with. And maybe I'm just getting old, but they used to have so many taglines like, "Oh, come on, there's always room for Jell-O." That just like every movie, like I've got those drilled into my brain. I could go all day with Dumb and Dumber quotes, you know what I mean, or Anchorman quotes, and like now maybe because I'm an old fart, I'm an old boomer now, or but like I feel like all these movies, they're just playing on old properties, and they don't have that magic. Maybe somebody should make something new and interesting. Like Stranger Things. Stranger Things is new. It plays off the old stuff, but it's not running some like brand name into the ground. It's a nod to Goonies and to Stand By Me and to all these older things we grew up with, but it's new. I like that, but taking a property, an IP, and then like this is the new whatever. I feel like that's just they're just cashing in and soiling something that's sacred. Yeah, Finn Wolfhard from he's starting to get like. He's starting to grow. I like seeing him in Stranger Things, the new season. He's starting to grow up and mature. He doesn't look like he's starting to look kind of goofy.
He's just goofy. Yeah. Will, like they stick that bowl cut on poor Will, and it like you can't hide it. Will's just a good looking cat. Like he's gonna be more famous in the future. Like as long as like, but that Finn kid, like I don't know, like I just. I don't see it. I don't, but I might be wrong, but yeah.
They got Paul Rudd as the anchor on that show, so like it's funny is they didn't even use him. It's like they got his name on the marquee. They hardly used him in Afterlife. He just kind of was there, and like if you're gonna have him, like use him. Like at least. I hope they gave him a bunch of money, like But that's one of the selling points was like, dude, I don't know. I would be rolling my eyes right now, but it's got Paul Rudd. It's going to be good. And it was okay. And I enjoyed the climax, and I understand what they were going for, but it was kind of weird. But anyway, let's move on. Do you guys, are anybody out there excited about Ghostbusters? Or you're like, dude, they should have just ended it where they did? I don't know. Let me know in the comments. Let's see here. What do you guys in the chat think? Nat says... says poor Finn Wolfhard, homie has been nothing but clowned on. Yeah.
I mean, he's had his time in the sun.
Yeah, Ramlin Pickler says we all know Derek doesn't watch movies. Mel says I had nightmares about giant Vigo head chasing me as a kid. Lord Vigo the Carpathian. Yeah, dude.
And that's go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead, man.
No, that's one of the things that bugged me because I was a big Ghostbusters 2 fan, and they acknowledge it but didn't mention it at all in the movie. Like, they talked about the YouTube streaming thing about the giant Marshmallow Man, and people are like, that's fake. But they acknowledge that Ghostbusters 2 happened, but they don't talk about it at all in the movie. And it's like, they brought the damn Statue of Liberty to life, and it was like you had to get that. That's steel. Like you had to get it out of there somehow. Like, it was just, I don't know. Like there's certain parts of that movie that still really bother me. And some people like really enjoyed the hell out of that movie as a close. And then I wonder how they feel when it's not going to be a close, or, or I don't know. But yeah, it just that yeah. Hmm. I
Well-
don't want to get. I don't want to go. No, I ain't doing it. We're not going there.
You'll get nuts. Well, speaking of this is gonna be a short one because we got to get into the good stuff. But Curtis was like, dude, you got to put this in, and Curtis and I are older, so maybe than you guys. So maybe this you might just say, okay, can we get through this topic? But
Probably.
But speaking of running properties into the ground, Lionsgate announced this afternoon that their Dirty Dancing sequel starring Jennifer Grey will hit theaters on February 9th, 2024. Deadline first reported about the project, which Jonathan Levine directed, blah, 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 blah. In part two, Baby, who's Jennifer Grey, takes us back to Kellerman's resort for a story of summer, young romance, and dancing. Okay. Young romance. Who's going to be in the movie? And is this going to be like, are they recasting Jennifer Grey and with somebody who has her old nose? Because not to be rude, she doesn't look like the same person. She got a nose job and it ruined her career. Like nobody would cast her anymore because she didn't look like Jennifer Grey. And like she was gorgeous and if she stumbles across this YouTube video, Jennifer, I'm not trying to be rude or mean. I think you're fantastic. I'm just saying.
I think she's admitted it, though. I think she's admitted.
Yeah,
that
she
was,
knows.
Yeah.
She knows. But
knows.
Yeah, she knows.
No.
Knows.
Oh God.
Knows.
Hi-yo!
Yeah, but who the hell wants to see this movie? I don't and I'm wondering, did Top Gun make the executives say, hey, this is fantastic. There's a whole genre or a whole demographic of boomers out there that will go to the movies if we remake an early 80s property. Let's just put what else is old that we can hash out? What about a Ferris Bueller's Edward Scissorhands 3? I don't know, man. Like again, what the hell? Maybe I'm being a dick right now, and there's some people that loved the first Dirty Dancing and they want to see that, but I just feel like they're milking it. I don't know. What do you guys? Yeah. Anybody? Curtis, you're already talking. What do you think?
Top Gun has Tom Cruise in it. Why in the hell are you going to make a Dirty Dancing movie that doesn't have the Sways in it? I mean, it doesn't make any sense. Like it's they might have Jennifer Grey in there with her new nose, and that's great. I'm glad she's going to be in it, but like it's going to be all these new people, and like you can't even do. And if they do some computer generated Patrick Swayze, I'm going to burn some buildings down, and you don't do that to the Sways. The man had a great career. You should have done this 20 years ago when he could still be in it. I don't even like the movie that much, but don't disrespect the man like that. Just
Curtis,
it's stupid. They're just cashing in.
You're getting
It's
fired
stupid.
up.
It's so stupid.
You got thoughts, Derek?
I know what they should do. It should be Jennifer Grey teaching youngsters how to dance, and Finn Wolfhard should be the main kid that she's teaching how to dance.
Yes.
I think it's going to sell millions.
Yeah, now you're talking that maybe that's what they're gonna do. They're like, Maverick is teaching. He's teaching the younger pilots. We'll have Jennifer Grey giving dance lessons, and we'll call it Dirty Dancing. Charlie, any thoughts at all? Or are you like, I don't give a shit about this movie? Like, what?
Surprisingly enough, I've seen the first Dirty Dancing only because one of my friends is like a fan of it, and she literally made me watch it during the movie that we agreed on.
It's
I thought
a
it was
classic.
cool.
Yeah,
it was cool. I don't know what it is with these studios though, where we'll have 15 bad sequels of like old IPs, and then they get that one that hits, and they're like, "Yeah, we're in there. 15 more. Let's pump them out." It's like you get the one.
I told you it would work.
It kills me. It could be good. I'm not the one to say if you don't have a certain star in it, it won't be good, because maybe you get another thing like Stranger Things where you have a bunch of unknown young actors that can make their name in this, so possibly, but call it a different movie. Just give it a different name. Just give it a different name.
I don't mean to be ageist where I'm like, oh, you don't know, like I'm an old fart. I know I've seen, like, It is a timeless movie, and they've got They got that Netflix show where they talk about like what is that show, Curtis? Where they talk about all those movies that were like
the movies that made us.
Yeah, movies that made us. If you see the one on Dirty Dancing, it's actually really good. It's fascinating. And if any Dirty Dancing fans out there watch that, the movies that made us, the most fun I've had from this is the argument, the debate over. From like Clean Bobby, if you're watching out there, over there is already a Dirty Dancing 2. And I'm like, no, it's Dirty Dancing Havana Nights. That's not Dirty Dancing 2. This will be, and he's like, no, that would be Dirty Dancing 2. I'm like, no, this is Dirty Dancing 2. That was Dirty Dancing Havana Nights, and the first one was just Dirty Dancing. And so there's the great debate. Is there a Dirty Dancing 2 already out? Should this be called Dirty Dancing 3, or should this be called Dirty Dancing 2? Curtis, you're shaking your head.
Well, Bobby already mentioned that they made Havana Nights as well, and like making a sequel to Havana Nights is fine. But Samantha Phillips made the best point of all. Swayze and Chris Farley already starred together in Dirty Dancing 2. If you haven't seen the SNL skit, it's spectacular.
It is spectacular. Good call on that one. You know what's hilarious about this movie, and this isn't hilarious, but there is a, especially back when this movie came out, there was a there was an abortion in this movie, and so that was a big deal. My ex-girlfriend's dad was a really great guy, really good guy, and was sheltering his daughters. Like they wanted to see this movie, so he, using 2 VCRs, because we're back in the 80s, edited out the abortion part, to where there was just, the movie was just about dancing and a love story, but there was no abortion in this movie. And these 2 girls, they're sisters, they're close friends of mine, I love them both. They went to college, and they go off to college at UT, and they're at UT and they're in college, and one of them, it's a nice Saturday afternoon, they're hanging out, maybe one of them's in the kitchen doing dishes, and the other one's like, what? Oh my God, like, what's the matter? And runs out like, there's and they saw on TV was the real version of the movie, and they were like 20 years old before they had any idea that there was an abortion in the movie. So just imagine your favorite. I've seen Star Wars 200 times. This is like Dumb and Dumber. I've seen 50 times. It's like that. If you all of a sudden saw your favorite movie and it had something completely foreign that is shocking, and you had no idea, so I think that's hilarious. So high five to their dad if they ever see this. But yeah, I think it's hilarious. But way to look after your kids. You gotta edit out the scandalous stuff. And
it probably would have went completely over their heads when they were kids and just never even know. But they just noticed a whole new scene and they're like, "What is this new scene about?" Because I never noticed it.
Yeah, and then they're like, "What?"
That scene is actually how I learned what abortion was. My mother did not censor that at all. She's like, "Well, that's what this means." I'm like, huh, I'm 6.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, boy. Oh, yeah. Mel says she's seen Without a Paddle 100 times. Yeah, we all have those movies you've seen a million times. While we're at it, Charlie, what's your 100-time movie? What have you seen the most? Your movie you've seen more than any other movie?
Django Unchained.
Django Unchained?
Oh.
That is my absolute favorite movie of all time.
Derek?
That's a big list.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of movies.
The original Star Wars trilogy, the prequel Star Wars trilogy, Zack Snyder's Justice League, probably all the Lord of the Rings.
Oh, the one movie you've seen more than any other movie?
Oh God,
You can't cheat, Derek.
I don't know this answer.
That's tough. I'll skip to Curtis, and then I'll go back to you, Derek. Now you can process. Curtis?
It's either Conan the Barbarian or Return of the Living Dead. Those are my top 2 favorite movies.
Which one do you think you've seen more? Return of the Living Dead or
probably Return? Yeah, probably Return. I've seen more. Yeah, Return of the Living Dead is probably the one I like go to because it's just so much fun.
Guys in the chat, name what movie? Just type in the title of whatever movie you've seen more than any other movie. And Derek, what movie have you seen more than any other movie?
I'm gonna guess Empire. Empire Strikes Back.
Empire Strikes Back.
I'm not sure. It's one of them. It's one of the Star Wars movies.
I've seen Star Wars. I've seen like Episode 4 probably more than any other Star Wars. Probably more than any other movie. It gets fuzzy when you get into Superman movies, in the Christopher Reeve Superman movies, and Rocky. I've seen the Rocky movies.
Yeah,
I've seen Rocky 3. I mean, a lot, and actually, and Rocky 4, and Superman 2. And Superman 1. It's those 4 movies. It's Superman.
So you wait. We
I'm
can't get
so-
mad at Derek for cheating, and then you go cheat. You're the host, man.
Dude, I'm the host.
The
I
hypocrisy.
get to bend the rules.
Get it right. Get it tight.
And I've also seen Dumb and Dumber more than Dumb and Dumber might be the movie I've seen more than any other movie. I've seen the movie a lot of freaking times.
Kim Whitehead's got a good one. She says The Warriors. Once watched Warriors in my 1,000 times movie. I love that movie. I haven't seen it that many. Although it's always one of those ones I want to watch again. I probably need to watch more. Warriors is a great movie.
Dirty Rotten Scoundrels says Samantha Phillips.
Oh, that's a good one.
The Count slept to the Count of Monte Cristo over a year. It was on a loop. Romper Stomper. That's a good one.
Romper Stomper.
When they fight the skinheads, I lost my mind in the theater. Oh, that's a good list.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Some of those movies, like that, Return of the Living Dead is always fun. Some of these movies, they are very good movies, but they're not fun to me. Like they're kind of intense. Like,
Well, let's move forward. Let us know if you got a good one. You're like, dude, I'm gonna stump these guys with this movie. When I was a kid, there was a lot of movies too that were just on every weekend. Where it's like like every time you're home from school and you get on the couch and then you're like, wow, it's on again. The Breakfast Club was on a million times when I was in high school.
yeah.
I don't know how much I don't know how much BET you guys watched growing up, but for anybody that's probably black around my age or maybe older, we know Baby Boy was on BET literally every day for whatever
Every
reason.
day, forever.
Every single day. I swear to God, Baby Boy was on for like 10 years every single day.
I would see it while channel surfing. Be like, they're playing Baby Boy again. I thought they were playing. Why don't they play music videos? Whatever.
Oh, that's funny. Hogarth? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, actually, Clint, you're probably right. I've probably seen Breakfast Club more than any of those. It's just not on purpose.
It was, oh, yeah. I used to go to my buddy Chris's house in high school, and I'd sit on their couch. I remember sitting on their couch, and the Breakfast Club was always on. Like, and I was hanging out, and maybe it was like, hey, I'm going to take a quick shower, and then we'll get out of here. And, like, just hanging out on the couch, killing time. If it wasn't Saved by the Bell, Breakfast Club was on. Just Urban Cowboys and one for Bobby. Yep.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. All right, well, let's move on to the next topic. What do we got here? Oh, yeah. Oh, boom. Christian Bale is open to reprising his role as Batman, only if I gotta get this stupid subscribe thing off here. All right. Christian Bale is open to reprising his role as Batman only if director Christopher Nolan is involved. The actor recently told Screen Rant in an interview, Bale starred in Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy from 2005 to 2012 and played the superhero in Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. In my mind, it would be something if Chris Nolan ever said to himself, you know what? I've got another story to tell, and if you wish to tell that story with me, I'd be in. Holy smokes, man. What do you guys think about this? Like, I've been thinking about it, and I'm like, and my thoughts are, well, he's pushing right now, he's pushing a comic book movie. He's out there promoting his Gore the God Butcher role in this movie. So he's going to be speaking directed towards the fans of comic book movies. Also, when he said he didn't want to be Batman anymore, he didn't want to do comic book movies anymore, he just spent 12 years doing comic book movies. Of course he doesn't want to do that. It's a decade of comic book movies. But you know what? A little time goes by, and now all of a sudden he's back in the spotlight and he's doing something exciting. Maybe it's not so bad. But my question is to you guys, do you even care. Do you want to see Christopher Nolan do a movie with Christian Bale? Is it too late? Has the ship sailed? Like, I don't know. Me personally, I enjoyed the Christian Bale Batman movies, but they're kind of precious to me the way the old Ghostbusters movies are, and I don't think we need to revisit that. But that's just me. Some other people might be like, hey, I don't like these new Batmans. I want my old Batman back. We'll start with Derek, because Derek is I know you're such a huge fan of the Snyder Batman stuff and all that. Actually, Snyder Batman's my favorite. Ben Affleck is probably my favorite. But.
He is my favorite. But it was the Dark Knight trilogy that like revamped my love for Batman and got me back into comics and all that stuff. So I do love that trilogy. I mean, if they did this, I would prefer it if they continued the story. It ended off with the trilogy with Joseph Gordon-Levitt kind of taking over the mantle and Batman and Bruce coming back. Like if it were more of a like a Batman Beyond type of situation, like if like Christopher Nolan's take on a Batman Beyond type of thing, where Bruce is older and maybe he needs to help out John Blake. Was that his name in that movie? I forget. I think so. That would be interesting. I'd be down with that. But at the same time, I'd rather them continue the Robert Pattinson story if they're gonna do that. And I'd also like them to restore the Snyderverse and get that Ben Affleck Batman back in there, but that's just me. But no, I don't think it's gonna happen. But if it did happen, I'd be curious.
Yeah, it's interesting because now they got they got these pocket universes and it's all compartmentalized. And are they gonna continue on with some of the Snyderverse? Are they not? What's gonna happen? How about you, Charlie? Would you like to see another Christian Bale Batman, or do you think they should just leave that alone, or do you think this is just a bunch of noise just to play with the fans and actually get some buzz on the internet for this new movie, and get him some headlines? What do you think?
Swear to me. No, I'm playing. Those movies hold a very special place in my heart because I think like 05 or like 08, around that time is when all the superhero stuff really was starting with Bale and Iron Man. So that was like my like childhood of like really getting into a lot of that stuff with that and the animated stuff. But getting into Nolan's Batman, I feel like that those movies are a time capsule now. So I'd probably lean more towards Derek's idea in regards to doing a Batman Beyond take. It's tough now because now that we have the Pattinson Batman, I don't feel like I need Nolan anymore, because it's like this Batman that I have with Pattinson is kind of what I wanted, a more realistic, grounded Batman where he's being a detective. And if we have that already, it would seem kind of redundant to get the same type of thing with Nolan again. And then this is an unpopular opinion. We talk about it on the show. I don't really like Affleck's Batman. I like him as Bruce Wayne, but most of it is probably just the suit. I don't know why they tried to do the Dark Knight Return. I hate fake muscles in any superhero suit. It's so stupid to me. Do not give him biceps 3 times the size that he actually has, because they didn't serve a purpose. But yeah, I love the
intimidation factor, Charlie. Intimidation factor.
For sure. I'm definitely afraid of this neck muscles for whatever reason. He just has no neck. It's no neck Batman. It's terrifying to me.
Traps, baby.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Again, I want to see, like what Derek said, I want to be a different story. I wouldn't want just like the Dark Knight Returns Part 2. Like, just give me something different in a new story. Call it something different altogether. Just call it a different Batman story and just have the actors in there and it could be fine.
Yeah, I think the Beyond thing could be cool. Well, like, but now you got you've got Michael Keaton doing that. He's coming back to do that. So you're not going to have 2 Batman Beyonds, 2 older mentoring Batman, and then we got 2 younger Batman, and then like what's going to happen? I don't know. Bring in a Nightwing movie with I don't know. Maybe that. Curtis, what do you think?
Yeah, I agree. I think Nolan's trilogy was not perfect, but would leave it alone. But I do like, and I wasn't thinking Batman Beyond. I was thinking they're going to make Looper Nightwing in the new ones, and that'd be fine. But y'all are missing the point. Like, he's not talking about new Batman in that direction. He's hinting at Christopher Nolan directing him in certain scenes that are going to be in Flashpoint that comes out next year, guys. That's what y'all are missing. He's going to be in Flashpoint, and he's hinting at it already.
That movie
Right?
comes out, this would be the grace of God if that movie ever comes out.
Dude, they just announced that they were going to move forward. There was an article recently, like today or yesterday, in it was either Deadline or Hollywood Reporter, but they basically talked about that, and they said that we're going to go ahead and put it out. Like Warner Brothers has said, we're doing it. You know, you got David Zaslav is now in charge. He's like, all this other crap started while I wasn't even part of this. We're here. I'm a businessman. We need to make some of our money back. We're going to wait a year. We're going to go ahead and release it in theaters and just maybe see what happens. It's unfortunate, all the drama, but there's no use in basically, you have fans or people. I wouldn't even say fans. I think the fans all want to see the movie, but you have people that are saying, "Oh, you shouldn't release this movie and give
That guy's already paid.
put a spotlight on Ezra." Yeah, like you said, Ezra's already paid, and you got Michael Keaton suited up for this, and you're gonna not release that stuff. Not to mention, you're gonna martyr this thing because the entire world's gonna be like, release the Ezra cut. So just put it out. People that are so offended by him that aren't going to go to the movies, they can just not show up. But I almost think it's going to work in their favor. People are going to be like, this guy is a train wreck. I want to see how he did in this movie. I think they're going to sell. I think it's going to do well, and I think they spent a bunch of money. They're going to want to recoup. And I think they will. I think it's going to go out and it'll probably do pretty well. And to be honest, I was talking about something about Armie Hammer, how he had some crazy drama where he got canceled and they edited him out of what movie was that? The Nile, something on the Nile. Love on the Nile. Death on the Nile. Yeah, I think they edited him out of that and put somebody else in there. I was talking about that, and they're like, I don't even know what you're talking about. I think we're a bunch of nerds that keep track of this stuff, but the average person doesn't even know who Ezra Miller is.
So you're basically saying that Armie Hammer is the abortion scene of Death in the Nile?
Yeah, basically. So I think the average moviegoer doesn't know or care. You know what I mean? Like people don't keep track of this stuff. We do because we're super fans. But I think the average person, that is enough people out there to come in and make their money back, I think are going to just go see this movie. So I'm pretty sure it's going to go up.
You guys think they recast?
No, they're going to recast. Well, they're going to afterward in the future,
sure.
but they already spent a fortune on this movie. It's already done, and it's too late. When you're in every scene in the movie, they're not going to reshoot the entire movie. Otherwise, they would just scrap it and start again. It's too what Curtis?
Maybe that's what Christian Bale's pointing out too. Maybe he's saying that they're going to CGI him in as the Flash, and it's going to be Batpoint instead of Flashpoint, and fix everything.
It's
Problem solved, baby.
No,
DC Dark Metal.
I'm gonna run really fast.
Yeah.
Where's Rachel?
Look how fast I can go.
Is she in this universe? Where's Rachel?
And then he just runs off. The Flash Bat. I don't know. No, that's not happening. Shut your mouth.
that exists. They could
While
if they
you're
do
joking,
that.
that's a dope run.
Yeah, the movie will come
Boom.
out. It's
That just
coming
happened.
out. They're just gonna put it out there and hope that a bunch of people will go see it. And honestly, if that movie were to show up at the theater next week, are you telling me you wouldn't go see it? Anybody that would not go see it, raise their hand right now. I would be the first showing. I would see it. Yeah, like I would be like, first, give me my ticket. I'm on my way. So I think pretty much we're all sitting here eating popcorn, watching the drama. What kind of drunk rant or rampage or weird shit? Who are you going to choke this week? Who's you going to hit with a chair in the head this week? Like it's an unfortunate, sad drama that Miller's going through. But I think we'll all still go to the movie. So from a business perspective, I see what they're up to, and we'll see. But yeah, this wasn't Ezra derailed our show. We weren't even going to be talking about that. We're talking about Christian Bale right now. So, all right. Well, what do you guys out there think in the chat? Anybody want to see Christian Bale back as Batman? Huh? And we got a comment from Chris Klink. Oh, sorry guys, I'm late. I'll be there for verses. This guy, Chris Klink, that's the couch that I was talking about. I would sit on whenever we were, whenever Saved by the Bell would come on or whatever. But, all right, let's move to our next topic so I can quit stuttering. All right. After 4 weeks of reigning supreme in the Netflix TV charts, Stranger Things has finally been dethroned by Umbrella Academy. Don't expect the Umbrella Academy to dominate Netflix charts for a number of weeks, though. Stranger Things Season 4 arrives today, which technically yesterday. So I haven't looked at my Netflix, but I would venture to say that it's probably already been dethroned. I bet you number one today is Stranger Things. And I can tell you there was an article out, too, that's, am I right?
It's back at number one. Yes, sir.
All right, we'll do an air horn for Stranger Things. It really just to be annoying. But, yeah, we all knew this was going to happen. I'm not caught up. I just started the new season. There's so many damn shows out right now. The Boys, Miss Marvel, Obi-Wan, there's so many damn shows. It's ridiculous. And I watch the Peaky Blinders. I'm watching 2 movies a week for Versus, and it's just like so much stuff to watch. But I can tell you the beginning of the season is fantastic. I really loved the Umbrella Academy a lot. Like I binge watched that and I super enjoyed it. And I can't wait to finish Stranger Things so we can come back and I can tell you which one I liked better. Right now I'm rooting for Umbrella Academy, but we'll see. Charlie, have you been watching Umbrella Academy?
So I'm not caught up on this recent season. I think I'm like at the end of, was it the second or third season? I can't remember. The one before this most recent one. Third. I don't know what happened with me. I really loved the show when I first binged that first 2 seasons, but it's been like, maybe because I gotta like remember everybody's motivations and stuff, but it's not hitting the same for me anymore. I don't know what it is or why.
Is this on the brand new season?
This is on like where I left off.
Yeah, is
like
this
from where I left?
Are you? Was this the last season that you left off, or are you on the new season of Umbrella?
I haven't started a new season. Yeah, I haven't started a new season yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about Stranger Things? Have you been watching that show?
Oh yeah, I've been binging the hell out of that. Oh my god, I finished that first half in like 2 days.
Oh wow.
I love it even more because again, like I said, I'll be redundant again. I'm a horror fan, so this season is very much so like returning to like horror roots and introducing like a Freddy Krueger / like it's like a weird Freddy Krueger type villain that had a pretty decent twist at the end. Like I'm not going to spoil anything, but it's good. I really love this season. This is probably like some of the best content I've seen ever, to be honest with you.
I'm excited, man. I've like I said, I've only seen the first few episodes. I'm up to like the roller skate rink incident and that's where I'm at. But how about you, Derek? Have you been watching Stranger Things or Umbrella Academy?
I started Stranger Things back when it was just 1 season, and I got sidetracked, and I have not made my way back to it. I know that I'll like the show. I'll watch it one day. And then Umbrella Academy, I watched the first 2 seasons. I really liked the Umbrella Academy. But man, time travel, it's hard because like Charlie said, with all the with every time jump, everything changes and the characters are different and their relationships to other characters are different. So it's hard. I get that, how it's kind of hard to connect. And then there's another time jump, so everything's all. But then again, that's time travel. That's time travel, baby.
It gets tough, man. I kept falling asleep. I'd watch and then I'd fall asleep. But instead of just going to sleep, I'd be half asleep and dozing, and I'd watch like 2 episodes that way. And then the next day I'd wake up and I'd be like, I don't really know what happened. I should have just gone to sleep. So then I'd have to rewatch those 2 episodes. That's like 2 hours to get caught up with what I already barely watched. It was like if you can watch with one eye open and not retain anything like I do, it's really a curse because it takes you twice as long to watch a show. Curtis, have you been watching either one of those shows? You got the Stranger Things hat on.
I have not seen Umbrella Academy yet. We talked about it last week. I do, and even wife, my beautiful, lovely, wonderful wife, who does not watch our content, was like, apparently Umbrella Academy is awesome. After I talked to you, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna watch it. So, but I have been watching Stranger Things. I'm not gonna wait for on that one. I'm actually done. I binged the last little bit this morning. I'm not going to spoil anything. Season 5 better not take. It better be out next year.
It better not take so damn long.
It better not take so long. I thought it was very good. Season 3 to me kind of lulled a little bit. It was fine, but season 4 brought it back in a lot of ways. And what's interesting to me is we've been talking about Kate Bush, her song coming back. No spoilers, but Master of Puppets hopefully gets a resurgence from Stranger Things as well. And certain things getting a resurgence from new content. Well, I noticed a couple things, but Stranger Things and The Boys both used the song Dream a Little Dream of Me, which came out in 1931. So that's getting a good resurgence. We're talking about old stuff getting a resurgence in 1931. I mean, both The Boys and this week, in fact, and Stranger Things are using that. And you know what? Who's getting the biggest resurgence of all? Mr. Paul Reiser, baby. Mr. Paul Reiser, Mad About You himself, is just bringing it strong and is at the top of both lists. He's at the top of Prime. He's at the top of Netflix. And keep it going, man. But yes, Stranger Things is pretty awesome. Definitely check it out. Season 5 had better come quickly.
Yeah, Paul Reiser's in The Boys too. It's like Paul Reiser's awesome. He's the old guy in the Boys. If who used to work for Vought, anybody who doesn't know what we're talking about, yeah, he's
the agent, the legend,
the old agent and stuff.
He was in Stranger Things too.
He's
the good doctor. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So
if you only saw season 1, you haven't seen him yet. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. He's. Have you? Did you guys before we jump to the next thing? Did everybody catch The Boys? Anybody catch the new episode of The Boys?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not today. I didn't have time today.
We're not doing spoilers. We won't be doing spoilers. But holy crap, dude! Does that show know how to bring it? Just really good storytelling. You don't see anything coming. It's not a formula. It's like, yeah, they do have a formula. Make an awesome show every week. That's their formula. It's just like twists and turns and just good stuff and good old-fashioned drama and wow. So, yeah, if you're not watching The Boys, go watch it. If you haven't seen all the previous seasons, go watch them and then get caught up. But this new season of The Boys is fantastic. That's my plug for that. But going back to Stranger Things, I read an article that I thought was pretty interesting. I'm going to get rid of this real quick. And let's see here. Where is it? Oh, yeah. There it is. Boom. And it said that Winona Ryder fact checks things on the set of Stranger Things. She fact checks 1980s accuracy on set. She'd tell them, like, for example, this song came out in 85 and you have it in 1983. She knew all of these tiny details that no one even knew. And yes, I have a picture of a New Coke there in front of her, just because that's some early 80s stuff. But
These kids don't remember New Coke.
Yeah, what is New Coke? I thought that was really cool. Another thing that they say in this article is that she mentors the youngsters on the set, and she lets them know, like, she was a child star for those who don't know, you're just like, oh, she's the mom on Stranger Things. She was a child star. She was in Beetlejuice. She was in Heathers. She was in so many awesome movies, and she's already lived this thing that these young cast members on Stranger Things are going through, and she's mentoring them and letting them know, hey, this is your big moment. Like this is happening, or hey, you can take a break for a second, or don't take this too seriously, or understand how special you are to be in this position. She's got a really unique perspective where she actually, even though she had a little hiccup with a shoplifting charge that she got in the 90s, it was a big scandal. She stole something and got caught shoplifting, and that was a
It
big
was like fruit or something. It was
I don't
weird.
remember. Yeah, it was something stupid, but somebody with millions of dollars shouldn't be stealing, and that was a big scandal, big hiccup in her career. But she was a child star, and she's still working today. So I think it's cool. I think it's cool that Millie Bobby Brown, is as big a star now as she was when she was her age, so she can give her advice, give her perspective. And you see Millie Bobby Brown on social media everywhere. Winona Ryder was on the cover of every teen magazine and in every movie back then. I think it's cool. I think it's cool to have somebody that can give them a little guidance, because parents don't know. They just got their $1 million kid in front of them and keep sending them out. So I thought that was exciting. So high five to Winona Ryder for taking care of these kids and stuff. But yeah, high five. All right. Well, let's see here. Let's talk about some what we all have been excited to talk about, and that's some Marvel action.
Yep.
Marvel, because we like Marvel. Taika Waititi, who directed as well as co-wrote and stars in Thor: Love and Thunder, said there was a lot of pressure because Ragnarok did so well and people fell in love with it. And I thought we did something different with Thor. Personally, I was like, how are we going to top that? Is it possible to top that? We did. That's right, guys. We did. He told a Hollywood Reporter on the red carpet, "This film is bigger and deals with bigger themes, human themes. It's emotional. I couldn't be happier," is what Taika Waititi told the red carpet reporter on the carpet. Holy crap, man. This gets me excited because Thor Ragnarok is freaking awesome. And every time I forget, I will randomly I'm going to sleep in day and casually put on Thor Ragnarok and watch it again, because I know I've seen it. I don't have to watch it all the way through, and I can enjoy some of it. I watch every minute of that movie every time, and every time I walk away and say, dude, I forgot how awesome that movie is. Now we're going to have something that tops it? How is this going to top it? How excited are you guys about this? Derek, what do you think? What do you think? Does Taika Waititi's words get you excited?
Oh yeah. I loved Ragnarok. I've probably seen that. I think that's the Marvel movie I've watched the most out of all of them. Is probably Ragnarok. But I can definitely see how he could top it though, because the plot of Ragnarok was actually pretty straightforward, and it was very. I think I don't know if it still is the shortest Marvel movie, but I think at the time it came out, it was the shortest Marvel movie. So taking that and then seeing Thor travel and go to different places and meet different gods and whatever he's doing, I don't know. I only watched the first teaser. I'm not watching any other trailers. Yeah, no, it's going to be fantastic. And just taking Ragnarok times 10, can't wait. I've already got my tickets.
Charlie, what do you think, man?
I hate Ragnarok with a passion.
Shut your mouth.
Do you really?
Yeah, most of that though is because I'm not gonna say I'm a purist when it comes to comics, but the one of the comics that I love the most is the World War Hulk and Planet Hulk. Like those are some of my favorite arcs in comic history. So when you take that story and you do like a comedy shortened version of it, and then they've been like bastardizing Hulk for a minute, so that's one thing already. Where I don't know, I feel like I'm being a snob, like a comic snob about it. And then plus this Ragnarok, for people that don't know anything about Norse mythology, that is the end of the world. It's like a dark event where it's the apocalypse, but they make it like a joke. The thing about that movie that kills me is like the tones are weird because it's a comedy adventure buddy cop thing, but it's also like the death of like a genocide of everyone Thor knows and loves. So I'm like, how are you trying to balance those two different tones and then you fuck up one of the most infamous Hulk plot lines at the same time. I don't know. Granted, I say all that to say I'm excited about Gore the God Butcher, and because again, that's another run I love, and it looks like they're doing justice by that, and I'm excited for this movie. But yeah, Ragnarok is a personal vendetta I have with that movie, and I've talked about it infinite amounts of time.
I gave up after Captain America: Civil War came out. I gave up on Marvel trying to take the content seriously because that was also just a fun movie, and people freaking died in the books. You know, they
Right.
killed each other, and this was just a fun little fight in an airport. So after that, I was like,
Mhm.
I'm not expecting the MCU to get too deep. So that's why that your argument against Ragnarok, I'm totally I completely understand that.
Right.
Curtis, I heard you say "wow" when he was
Yeah.
giving his take and his theory. What do you think about what he said? And then after you get done with that, what's your excitement on this up and coming movie? But first, what were you wowing about?
Well, no. Well, first, I want to give Ramlin Pigler some credit. He was like, it would be weird if a director came out and said the movie was worse, but so
Right.
that made me laugh. But no, he makes a good point. Now, and I will say, Charlie, like I think they're gonna do World War Hulk. That's one of my favorites as well. They're probably gonna screw it up, but apparently a World War Hulk movie is coming. Um, I understand that they can't make it. Like I'm a fanboy. I'm a Super Marvel fan. I understand that they can't put it into movies, because they'd have to introduce the century and stuff like that, like to make it
Right.
correct. I mean, there's a whole lot that you'd have to go on there, and if they did, it'd be amazing. But that'd be like a 5-year project. Um, Thor's my favorite character, so how you gonna top it? You just make another Thor movie, bam, done. But like that's a good point. Like I never thought about it in that respect. However, to be fair, the comic books did beat the hell out of Ragnarok. They used Ragnarok, every 10 years or so. Like yeah, I've got a almost complete Thor run, and Thor died more than once. They use Ragnarok a lot, especially honestly, especially in the new after 2000, after Siege and stuff like that. Like they kill him off like 2 or 3 times. Like it's kind of stupid, but that's kind of where Thor found his footing. I prefer the Marvel Comics Thor, who is not a laugh about kind of guy. He's a serious ass whooping dude. However, in the movies, Chris Hemsworth has made this work, with this comedy. I did like the buddy cop feel of Ragnarok and stuff. However, at the same time, you're right. Like this is like they kill the Warriors 3. Like I never thought about it. I got to rewatch it now. God dang.
It's genocide.
Sif,
I'm like, oh,
it's
God.
yeah, it straight up is. And they get like a boatload of people, but that's it. That's a whole nation. Sif is still out there, and then hopefully she will appear in Thor 4 or Love and Thunder. And I think a lot of other things are going to appear in Love and Thunder. I can't wait for it. Thor is my favorite character. I think each movie has gotten better and better, even though a lot of people are down on Dark World. I say rewatch it again and see the interactions once with Thor and Loki and stuff like that. Once their mom dies, like it's just heart wrenching. Like it's not a fun Marvel movie, but and there are bad parts to it. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I think it gets a bad rap for being the worst Marvel movie. And they've gotten better each time, and this one's hopefully going to be better. I think they're going to pull in a lot of things. But damn, Charlie makes some good points. I gotta go. I'll probably rewatch it very soon.
Yeah. And the only thing with Ragnarok being as funny as it was and being as fast paced as it was, we don't like the in Endgame when Thor is depressed and obviously hurt from everything that he lost. I think it
point.
was harder for people to really that didn't resonate with people
It was
at
just
first
funny. Yeah, it was just
because
yeah.
it happened so fast. Like that frustrated me too because I love Zachary Levi and I was excited to see him, and then he didn't even have a line. He just came in and died, and I was like, "What?" And then it just kept going, and it was stressful. But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, that's why I don't know. That's why the MCU is really hit and miss with me because they do constantly try to make it funny.
but and I'm sorry, but again, so this is what Blade doesn't need to be PG-13. Blade needs to be rated R. There is some content, some storylines that need to be for adults. Okay, I'm gonna let my kids watch it. My kids are fine. I want my kids to understand adult themes. I don't want to like that anyway. But like there's you could separate things. Like they own Fox now. Release it under Fox Studios, and then Disney still owns it. Like I don't know. Like it's. Blade does not need to be rated PG-13.
They got new parental controls now. They don't have Bob Iger in there anymore. They've got a new regime, and this guy's worried about numbers, and that's why now you have parental controls added, and they could, like you were even saying on another show, they could even have the edited versions for kids and release those for kids, and then have the grown up versions and stuff if they really wanted to. I'm excited about this movie. I really enjoy Ragnarok. I don't have the comics background on Thor stuff. Like I didn't read those comics. You know what I mean? And I really want to. See World War Hulk happen. But that's all rumor mill. Like that. I mean, like people say, but there's a lot of. There's a lot of scoopers and stuff who have been talking about this, who've also been right on a lot of other things. So I want to believe them, but we can't talk about that like it's definitely coming because we don't know. We don't know yet.
No,
we just gotta hope. We just gotta hope.
It's such a big storyline too, though. Like I can't imagine they're not going to do something to that effect. That's fair point. Thank you, Clint. Yeah. But it's such a big storyline. They're gonna do something with it at some point.
You think they would do that before they introduce mutants?
I have no idea.
No, I mean, because Xavier's there. My idea was to kind of have it be like a mini Thanos thing in between, like their big event that they're planning towards. So now you kind of have like what Civil War is supposed to be, where you kind of like have a divide between heroes that doesn't get solved immediately with the Hulk stuff, and then bring Hulk back for. If you're doing a King the Conqueror end of the world type deal, bring him back for that. I don't know. I just thought that'd be like it's so big and monumental, and like it brings together so many different characters.
Yeah, I wonder what they'd have to do to get Universal to play ball to where they can do that. You know, the way they've been using the Hulk, Universal still owns the rights to the Hulk, and they are able to have him as a side guy, whatever deal they have struck, but. They don't have the Spider-Man deal that they have with Sony to use him for movies. Like they don't have that set up yet, and so they did that one Hulk movie, but now they'd have to renegotiate all of that. And I'm sure Universal's like, yeah, bring me truckloads of money, let's do this. You know, I'm sure, but it's not worked out yet. But man, I sure would like to see the Hulk not be
a side character.
No, like Castor. Like it's like they.
Yeah.
I don't want to use that word. It's like he's been handicapped. I'll put it that way. You know what I mean? Like they got sugar-free Hulk. I want to see I want to see Red Bull Hulk. You know what I mean? Like that's what I want to see. So, and you know. The more pissed he is, the stronger he is. You kill his family, he's going to be super pissed. So let's see that. Like.
Yeah, watch. So if you haven't seen Doctor Strange, the scene with Black Bolt is Doctor Strange 2. Scene with Black Bolt's amazing, and it shows how powerful he is, and he really is in the Marvel comics. And then read World War Hulk. And
oh God! Oh God!
It's so fucking awesome.
He thought Wanda was bad. Oh God!
Yeah. Yeah, I want to see that. It's Yeah, you guys are like,
it's so good.
Let's see that. That's what I'm talking about. Oh man. Well, speaking of rumor mills, we got a lot of. Let's say hi the chat. See how they're doing up there. How you guys doing? You guys know about World War Hulk? Are you excited about that? Do you want that to come true? Heard Homelander will be the next Wolverine. Says some. Speaking of rumor mill, I heard that somebody drew fan art with the actor of Homelander And if you skimmed over the headline and didn't actually look at the article, that's what that article was, because I clicked on that. If it's the same article, I think somebody just really likes the Homelander actor. Why? Because he's freaking brilliant. But I looked at
He
that
is.
at that picture. I'm not buying it, dude. I don't want that to be my Wolverine. Like, I'm still pulling for Danny DeVito. I want Danny DeVito to be Wolverine. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Plus, I cannot see that dude as a villain now. Like, if I were to meet him in real life, he could be the kindest person ever. But I
Spit in
can't
his
trust you
face.
anymore, dude.
Right.
Yeah, I can't trust you. I hate you still, man.
Come on, Bob.
You're like, I hate you, and then he does little face twitches, and he's like, "What?" You're
It's
like, "Okay, I gotta go."
It's like King Joffrey. You know what I mean? I saw a
Mhm.
photograph of Joffrey from Game of Thrones, and he was taking a photo with fans, and he looked like a really nice guy. Huge smile on his face, like happy. You never seen him look like that. And I almost got a nosebleed. I was like, what's happening? Like you believe that this guy is a complete douchebag, just because he plays a really good one. Reva from Star Wars, a lot of people didn't like her because she's such an asshole, her character, but that's her character. They're actors, they're good actors, and if they make you, if they emote these feelings,
supposed to hate them.
like Homelander does, you're like he almost makes me mad. Like drinking milk, I'm like, you fucking sick bastard. I hate that guy. Which means he's brilliant. Like he's fantastic. But speaking of Joffrey, Cersei, Lena Headey, the actress that plays Lena Headey, is got a lawsuit going right now. I read earlier today. Her management company, she's got a couple of different like agents and stuff, and they're suing her because of her involvement. And she's not. Apparently, she's not in Love and Thunder, but she filmed stuff for Love and Thunder, and they're suing her for something like $500,000 or something. But if you do the math, and I was watching another show, and they did the math. Basically, she got paid $7 million from what they're suing her for. They're like, we're pretty sure she got paid $7 million, which is a buttload of money to. And then she got edited out of the movie because they thought it was better. Like, you know what? The movie's running too long, and it'll be a better movie with her part out of there. I don't know who she was supposed to be playing.
Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah. She's
Oh God.
I don't know. I don't know who she's playing, but apparently she got edited out of the movie. But that's a crazy that you could pay somebody that much money and then edit them out, and it's not a big deal. Like. You know what I mean? It's pretty nuts. Like,
I got my money at the end of the day.
yeah,
Shit,
you know,
Yeah.
pretty nuts. And I really like Lena Headey. Like,
Mhm.
she's fantastic. Like,
That's Mama, isn't it?
it's at the top of the tower. What's her name?
Yeah, Mama.
Yeah. What movie was that again?
Dread.
Dread. Yes.
Oh,
She's-
that was her, wasn't
yeah,
it?
it is
Yeah.
her. She's kicks ass in that
Wow.
movie.
Queen of
She's
Sparta.
good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, she's badass. She's also Sarah Carter in the Sarah Connor Chronicles.
Yeah.
I love her. Like I've got a thing for her. She's badass.
I
Yeah,
bet you do.
I do.
I bet you do.
Yeah, let's see here. Okay, well, speaking of rumor mill, we're talking about rumor mill. There's a whole bunch of rumors out this week. One of them, Cal Kestis from Jedi Fallen Order might be getting his own show. Is that real? Because I want it to be real. Like, be real, like Cypress Hill. I want it to be real. Of like Cal Kestis, like that actor's awesome. He was in Gotham.
Mhm.
I want to see him showing up. I want to see more Jedi, and he's perfect. He's a good actor. Like, can we have some of him? I know you love Star Wars, Derek. What do you think about that?
I'd be down. They're still making his video games though, so I don't know if that'd be a little redundant. But who am I kidding? Like I wouldn't care. Play all the games, watch all the shows. Star Wars till the day I die.
Well, why wouldn't you want to cross over between video games to a TV show? That's like
Love
you're gonna
that.
sell more game. You're gonna have more people want to play games if they see you on Disney Plus. What do you think, Charlie?
See, as a residential Star Wars super fan, I think it's a really untapped market where almost like the Force Unleashed, where because Sam Witwer was like they modeled the character after his face. I'm like, all right, cool. We can have a movie, a show, and then have a game sequel. Like you can tell that story in 3 different mediums and like milk it out without it being terrible to me. And then whatever crazy, let's say you have him do some crazy stuff in the game, maybe you depower him for the movie. I don't know, but The rumor I heard was that he was going to make an appearance in Obi-Wan, and I was like, all right, cool. I guess that kind of makes sense in the timeline wise. I'd be down for it. I just don't know. This is the one thing I had issue with Obi-Wan is that you're shackled because you already know what happens in that storyline, that timeline of the Luke Skywalker saga. So I'm like, if it's not going to be the High Republic that they're doing now, or in the future, I'm like, you kind of have to make it fit within that timeline that you already have. I'm down for it, but it's gonna be hard. I feel like to do a lot with it there.
Dude, there's so many cool Old Republic clips that you do a search for Knights of the Old Republic 4K, watch that cinematic adventure. I'm like, why aren't they making those movies animated like that? Like it's incredible. They're so cool. Multiple Sith and just like, I don't want the High Republic. I mean, I'll take anything you give me. But like those Old Republic, it's like 17 minutes. Old Republic, it is badass. I'm like, that's the Star Wars I want. Give me some of that. It's like cinematic and a little bit different because it's in the past, almost the way the new Dune movie feels. It's like, it doesn't quite feel like Star Wars, but it's still super cool. Man, I'd love to see that. And I had a thing that I wanted to see happen in Obi-Wan. Speaking of Obi-Wan, which was I wanted, and Curtis got me going thinking about this, how scared and how much trauma Obi-Wan had experienced, with all the Jedi dying and going into hiding, and his, his Padawan, becoming evil, basically having to kill his Padawan, leaving him in the lava to die, all these traumatic things happening. Then him going up against Darth Vader, I wanted Darth Vader to push him to the dark side and get him so scared that the fear leads to anger and anger leads to hate. Next thing you know, you see Obi-Wan's eyes turning red for a second. He goes to the edge of being on the dark side. And then maybe you had Qui-Gon's Force Ghost show up and be like, Obi-Wan, blah, blah, blah. And like Qui-Gon saves the day. Like, I thought that would have been really cool if and all of a sudden he starts turning and Darth Vader's like, yes, you feel that? And then I'm like, yeah, that would have been super dope. Like if he was like getting his ass whooped and then starts to turn to the dark side, and then get him saved by Qui-Gon because they were teasing the Qui-Gon communication the whole time. Maybe Qui-Gon shows up right when he needs him, and it like that would have been great, but it didn't happen. So oh well. But Curtis, what do you think about maybe a Cal Kestis show? I'm all about it, but what do you think?
I'd be fine with it. I haven't played those games. I do think we talked about it a little bit last week. They were talking about a Kenobi season 2. I still think they should not worry about that, and instead of Kenobi season 2, do Vader and have it from Vader's point of view, him chasing Kenobi. Kenobi makes some guest appearances for some fight scenes and stuff like that, and then you can go I did play the Force Unleashed games, and you can go down that road where at the end of Obi-Wan, not really spoilers, but the Emperor's like, don't worry about Kenobi, focus on this stuff. And Obi-Wan, but Vader's still focused on Kenobi, and then you can bring in what's his name,
Star Killer.
Sam Witwer.
Well, Vader's apprentice,
Star
Yeah,
Killer.
Captain America.
Star
Yeah.
Killer?
From Force
Star
Unleashed,
Killer.
it's Star Killer.
Yeah.
you bring in Vader's apprentice to kind of lead that battle, and you could go to. I mean, it's a companion series. You got Obi-Wan, you got Vader, and they play off of one another. It'd be perfect. But I'm down with any Star Wars. I haven't played those games. That might want me to go back and revisit those games once I see the show.
I want to see him do Dirty Dancing 2 Kenobi Knights.
Yeah.
But it's like Kenobi Knights with a K. Knights of the Old
Yeah.
Republic. I don't know.
If it doesn't have Patrick Swayze, who cares? Like, what are we even
The Force
doing here?
Ghost.
Hello there.
Yeah, Force Ghosts of Swayze, dude. That's how you do it. Kenobi
Mhm.
Knights.
I would be down with that. I
you
would
get-
totally be down with that.
Yes, dude, that's awesome.
It's $1 million idea. Write that down.
All right, well, what else? How about Emma Roberts joins Madam Webcast? Movie rumored to be something else. That's two different rumors wrapped up into one. Have you guys heard about this? Emma
Yes.
Roberts is the latest addition to the ensemble cast of Sony Pictures' Madam Web, starring Dakota Johnson. Also on board are Sydney Sweeney, Celeste O'Connor, Isabella, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, this Madam Web is already a weird movie to be making. People are starting to say it's one of those things like when they do a placeholder where they just invent like the fake Captain America movie, like they do. Sometimes they'll say they're making this, but they're actually making something else. Some people think that's happening. Some people are thinking Emma Roberts could be Gwen Stacy. Anybody have any thoughts on this? Charlie?
Terrified. I'm terrified. I, I mean, you could do something cool because I know Madam Web is like a younger version in the comics and does a bunch of weird stuff. And they have some good actors. Like I've seen, I think a little bit of Dakota Johnson in 50 Shades of Grey. I'm in love with Sydney Sweeney because of Euphoria. I want to save her in that show. I don't know why. Don't ask questions. So they have a good cast and decent characters. I don't know where this plot goes because you have Madam Web without Spider-Man in it, and then you bring in like Black Felicia Hardy is, I think, who Sydney Sweeney's supposed to be playing, and then you're bringing in possibly Gwen Stacy. I'm like, what kind of story are you telling here? I don't know. I just don't know. I'm so confused.
Curtis
And
is
people are
shaking
down
his
for it. The cast is attractive. That's the big selling point right now. It's like your cast is some really attractive women. But
Yeah.
what else are you doing? What else are you doing?
And that's a funny thing. It's like, oh, well, we got Venom, and we put Tom Hardy in it. Everybody loves Tom Hardy, so you got a winner. Maybe if we get a really awesome cast, we could tell an okay story and sell some movie tickets. I thought, what's her name? What's the director? She's a director now. I thought they had her directing. Well, it's S.J. Clarkson is directing this, so never mind. I thought they had somebody else attached to this. Curtis, you have any thoughts?
Yeah, I think that so after Morbius bombed and then they re-released it and it bombed again, like they had this idea for this Spider-Verse and now they're like, we gotta rethink this. I think that the Madam Web movie, kind of like what y'all were saying with the article was kind of saying, this Madam Web is going to be they're going to go off of what they know works. I think they're gonna pair it off of Into the Spider-Verse, and they're going to be like, Madam Web is going to be a narrator character and be like, there are plenty of worlds where spider people exist, blah, blah. And it's going to be a Spider-Gwen movie, and she fights the Black Cat, and it might work. I like, other than that, like nobody, even whenever Madam Web was on, like in the Spider-Man animated show, like and you saw Madam Web, you'd be like, oh god, it's fucking Madam Web. Like nobody wants to see you here, Madam Web. Like go away. Where's Venom? Where's Green Goblin? Like oh, like get out of here. You know. So I think that that's what they're gonna do. I hope that's what they're gonna do, and just go ahead and make the Spider-Gwen movie. Just do it. But I don't know.
Isn't Madam Gwen? Madam Web a legacy character that passed the mantle on though to a younger person at some point?
Yeah,
where there's a younger version, because I think that they're going to go with Dakota Johnson being the younger version of Madam Web. I'm not positive about that, but I've heard some people talking about that because they're like, what are they going to put a bunch of aged makeup and have Dakota Johnson be an old lady? Why would you even cast her in the first place? You know, and people were saying, no, I think it's going to be a different version of Madam Web, which is just weird to do at all. You know.
If they didn't own the rights to Madam Web, nobody would be making a Madam Web movie. Like it's just that's the rights they have. So like
they've got their last few Uno cards, and they're like, okay, what characters do we have the rights to? We got these, that, and that. Okay, got five. Let's bring back Paul Giamatti's Rhino again. What do you say? I'm just kidding.
Well, and they already said they're going to tone down Kraven and make it more funny because Morbius was too hardcore or something. I'm like, what is happening?
Oh, no.
What world am I living in?
I'm not sure that's why it bombed, you guys.
They just need the Uno out, like you said with the Uno. It's Uno out.
Can you fold in Uno? Is there a folding option?
Derek, you got any thoughts on Madam Web?
The Morbius was too dark. Get out of here. I don't know who Madam Web is. I've never heard of that before in my life until today. So
Spider Yoda, Spider Woman Yoda. Essentially.
Yeah, I don't care.
Another one. I don't care. I'm gonna have to make a graphic for that and have like a special horn whenever Derek's like, I don't care.
Derek approved.
Do
I
what
don't
you want.
care.
Some people are gonna like it. Some people are gonna hate it. It's fine. As long as you're paying your actors fair and your crew fair, do what you want.
Hey, dude, hold on. We're gonna
Lose
do
as much money as you want to lose. Go for it, Sony.
hold on one sec. Derek, look at the camera and tell us what do you think about the Madam Web?
I don't care.
All right, that worked. We're just gonna do that. That's Derek's official sound. What do you think? All right, Sony, get it together, man. No, Morbius was too dark. Morbius, the parts of Morbius that were badass, and there was only a few, but it was when he was killing everybody on that boat before. Like there was a time I was sitting back.
That's
like
the character.
I was sitting back like this in the movie theater, and all of a sudden Morbius is coming out of the shadows, and all these bad guys walking around with the guns. He just starts picking them off and like just brutally killing everybody, and I went, oh crap, this is good. This movie's gonna kick ass. Like there was about 2 minutes where my hair on my back stood up. The hair on my back stood up. That was funny. No, but like, yeah, I got excited. I was like, holy crap, this is gonna be good. And then a little time passed, and I go, oh, okay. So anyway, yeah, if you haven't seen Morbius, go check that out. Anyway, what's the last rumor mill thing we got? And then we gotta wrap it up. And I think this is hilarious. There was some site that wrote a story or said that Johnny Depp rumored to reprise his pirate's role and getting paid $301 million. Very quickly, within 24 hours, his agency piped up and said, "Yeah, that's not true." Anybody think that we'll ever see Johnny Depp back in the Pirates of the Caribbean, especially after this crazy? Do you think he's vindicated? And he's going to get his career back? Do you think he's just going to have a couple of tasteful? Now he's even older, tasteful artistic roles where he gets to be more of a serious, and maybe his Jack Sparrow career is over, but maybe there'll be some other things that he does. What do you think, Curtis? What do you think?
I think Cousin Johnny is. I don't think this is true. I don't think anybody's going to pay anybody $301 million. I think that's probably what his agents sent to Disney or something like that. And they're like, and then Disney shot it down. They're like, no, that's not true.
No, his agents debunked it. His agents were like, no, that's bullshit. Yeah.
Yeah. They debunked it, but Disney was probably like, hey, so now that it's over, do you want to do Pirates 8 or whatever the fuck it is? They were like, yeah, for $300 million. No, $301 million. And then Disney was like, no. And he was like, and then their agent was like, no, that's fake. But he's probably going to be in Pirates again. It might be 15 years down the road, like a legacy movie. Like I think for sure he's going to be in Pirates again. I don't think he has too much. I do, yeah. Like there, and I mean he's not that old. What is he, 60 or something like that? Like I don't.
Is he that old already?
What is he going to be at Barbossa?
No, I don't know. I don't know how old he is.
Is he going to play Barbossa in like a reboot or something? Like what?
How old is he?
Let's ask.
How old is he, Derek?
He's in his 50s. I don't remember exactly.
Let's ask Siri.
Damn, he looks good for his 50s.
How old is Johnny Depp?
59. Almost 60.
Oh, well. Duh.
Bro, he looks good. Jesus.
String me like.
So 15 years he'll be doing the next Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. So yeah, you still got Harrison Ford, decrepit ass, crawling out there for Indiana Jones 5.
Have some respect, sir. Have some respect for Harrison Ford.
I would if the studios did. They should have. Yeah. I know. Yeah, that's fine. But they're making Indiana Jones 5, not me. So they need to have some respect. Like Johnny Depp's gonna do another Pirates movie. It might be 5 or 10 years or whatever, but it's gonna happen. I don't know how much of an appetite he has for those independent roles anymore. Like playing Jack Sparrow, playing these bit characters is easy, and I think that that's what he wants to do. He's gonna be he'll be a working actor. Period. If he wants to work, he's gonna work. He could get a job right now if he wanted to. There's still gonna be the appeal and all that other stuff going on. He'll probably write a book. He's gonna be fine with money, but like there's gonna be another pirate sequel. It's just gonna happen. Like no matter if it comes out, he's like a fucking serial killer or something like that. They'll be like, well, but he's kind of reformed now. Like their money is there to be made, and like I said, it might be 5 or 10 years, 15 years, whatever it is, but there'll be another one.
Charlie, is Curtis right on, or is he crazy? Is Johnny Depp canceled, or is he uncanceled now? Has he been vindicated? Does he have a career, or is he done? Is he just gonna live quietly now that he's fixed his name a little bit and also gotten really embarrassed from all of the outed crap that's out there? Is he gonna live quietly, or do you think we're gonna see more of him on the screen? What do you think?
I kind of agree with Curtis in a sense. I think it'll be a lot sooner than like 15 years. I just think he's going to get a bigger bag now because after Disney and I think Universal screwed up, like they took him off of the Fantastic Beasts movie and then they took him off of this. I'm like, oh well, you took me off before you knew if I was innocent or not. Now I want a bag. He's gonna have to get that. They're gonna have to give him that Robert Downey Jr. bag to get him to come back for. And I want to see him as Jack Sparrow. Like as bad as those movies got, the one thing that I really loved was seeing him act like a drunk Jack Sparrow. I don't know what the appeal was to me from a child up till now. I love seeing him as Jack Sparrow, even not in the movie. Like I see the video of him like in the children's hospital. Like he's just like that's him. That's just it's just him.
It's just.
What about you, Derek? What do you think? Do you think he's done, or do you think we're going to see a lot more of Johnny Depp once the smoke clears after all this?
I think it's up to him. I don't think he's done. If he is done, it's his choice. Like I think after all this, people are gonna be like, "Oh yeah, bring him back." But I agree. Like, he will probably ask for a little bit more money, just because he lost out on so much money because of everything that happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's up to him at this point. If he feels like these. If Disney and all them deserve him. I don't know.
Do you think we're going to see Amber in the future, or do you think she's done? You think she's going to end up in all this DC stuff that's coming up? Like all of a sudden we see Amber in the Black Adam movie? What?
I don't think so.
She's got a 30-minute part in the monologue in it. No.
I already heard. I mean, I don't know. This is more rumor stuff. I already heard that her role in Aquaman 2 got reduced. Then I heard a rumor that it got cut. I don't know if any of that's true.
Then I heard a rumor that there's even more footage that they're going to use because they're not giving in to the fans anymore after past. They're just doing what they think's the right thing to do, which is wild. That's the funny thing is there's people trying to get clicks all the time. So they just write about whatever gets clicks. And some of them are right, and some of them are just getting clicks. Like this ding-dong that wrote about $301 million for Jack Sparrow. You know what I mean? Like, and the agents shot it down right away. Like, where are they getting their info? You know, some people just need some clicks. So you never know what the truth is. Is the World War Hulk in development? Is that just a fan's dream that they want it? It's like you never know. You got to really like do the research and you know like I'm actually talking to you guys at home. When you see stuff like that, do a lot of research because you got like people like us and Charlie. We do our shows and we start researching this stuff. You know, you see some news and you instantly like, oh crap, we got to talk about this. You start doing a little digging before you go publicly embarrass yourself by saying something is fact. And you do a little digging and you find out, oh, that's a bunch of bullshit. And that's there's a lot of BS out there, and it's not just in the comic book genre or movie or TV genre. Same with politics and everything else. So try and do a little research before you believe anything you read. I guess is what I'm trying to say, because you never know. I like Johnny Depp. And I enjoy the Pirates movies. Me and Curtis did a versus on Pirates of the Caribbean. I got to see it again, and I forgot how much I loved those movies. They're really fun, and you know, I hope Johnny Depp gets to do some more fun stuff like that. Because you know, Everybody's got their home life situation and the relationship stuff, and I think that should stay at home, and the professional thing should be separate. But whatever. But go ahead.
Well, no, that's the thing too. Is that George's question of the day: will Amber Turd's book sell? It probably will.
It
and,
will.
And but here's the thing too: is that like you've got hopefully not, but everybody's been in a bad relationship. Hopefully it was a short one, but like these people were married and together for a long, and it just was a bad relationship. Like I don't believe that Johnny Depp was like a violent abuser and stuff like that. But could you imagine living with Johnny Depp? It probably wasn't a dream come true. Like he was probably a nightmare to live with. Like that's so. And Amber Heard doesn't seem like a picnic herself. We got two shitty people, two egomaniacs that are living together. Like it's probably just a nightmare recipe. Like I'm not all against him, and I'm not all against her or all for him, all for her. Like this was just a bad situation that turned to be fair, like I wouldn't have known Amber Heard existed. I just not to be mean, but I just didn't know that she was a thing or an actress until this came about. I didn't even know she was married to Johnny Depp. So I could see he is Johnny Depp. I could see his career going, where it wants to go. For her, I mean, hopefully it doesn't hurt her. I don't want her to be hurt by.
I think these guys are all going to be okay. They're all going to have either get cast for new stuff or they're going to be able to write books about it. Not like the average Joe that's like you get fired from your job and you gotta figure something out.
Right.
I think they got enough in the bank to coast and figure something else out. But anyway, we're not gonna talk about these guys because I don't want to get deep into the drama because we're all feeling the scars of dealing with weeks and weeks and weeks of this courtroom nonsense. So
the appeal's coming, baby.
Yeah,
it's coming.
That was just part of the rumor mill. Rumor mill was Johnny Depp rumored to reprise his Pirates role. I don't know. Honestly, Derek, how do you feel about it?
I don't care.
Yes, that's the statement of the day. Who cares? Yeah. Anyway, guys at home, thank you for watching. Also, if you're looking for something to watch, later on tonight, Curtis and I are going to be doing a versus where you got the Suicide Kings versus Things to Do in Denver When You're Dead. So that's going to be a good time watching or talking about some mob movies from the 90s. Good times. We're going to break them down and see who the triumphant victor is. Man, I really appreciate you coming on, everybody, honestly, but we're gonna pull Charlie up. Charlie.
Oh.
Yeah, man. We really appreciate you coming on, man. Tell us about the Then and Now podcast and what people need to know, and invite them over to check you out, and tell me how good that Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce is on your right hand corner.
It was very good. It's an empty bottle now. I killed
Just
it
kidding.
earlier. Yeah, Then and Now podcast. We are 3 co-hosts. We have 3 different generations of nerds. I myself being the youngest at like 22, Otis being 29, I think, and then our big brother Ethan being in his 40s. We all have 3 different generations of nerddom, so we kind of just talk about that from our different perspectives and get into things from comics to movies to anime, and we have some cool interviews with certain people like Graham Nolan, who created the character. He wrote Bane, the character Bane, and Tom DeFalco has done some stuff with Mayday Parker. We've had some pretty good interviews with people that I thought I would never speak with in my life, and I've been blessed to have people like that around. So I try my best to do just dope stuff if at all possible. So if you guys would come check us out, I'd appreciate it, and we'd love to have you.
Yeah, go check them out. I've seen the show, and it's great. I really enjoyed it. I listened to it last time I went to visit my mom. I listened to an episode on the drive back, and was like, man, that's really good. I gotta go bomb their show one of these days. Hey man, look at me, put me on. I want to hang out with you guys.
Oh, we're gonna get you on for.
Yeah, dude.
I have an idea for the exact video. I'm trying to get you and Curtis on for exactly. I have an idea, but I'll give you guys about that.
I would love that. I'm sure Curtis would too. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Derek, where can we find you, man?
Yeah,
If anybody wants to hit you up on social media or anything or what,
I have
plug something, man. Plug something.
Well, my friend Trey Ramblin' Pickler there, you should subscribe to his YouTube channel and his Twitch channel, which is also Ramblin' Pickler, because he streams games. He streams our D&D sessions that we do every Sunday at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. So that's the big one. My Twitter, I just post up every once in a while. It's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, well, guys, go add him or follow him on Twitter, and then when he posts his updates and when he's going to go on with Ramblin' Pickler, you can be aware of it because you're following him on Twitter. Go follow him. We got Curtis over here, Bakertown on YouTube. Tell him what do you do on Bakertown?
We do a lot of kind of different stuff. A lot of it's video game stuff, just me playing with my kids. We're about to start Shredder's Revenge, the new reboot that's not really a remake, but of the arcade Ninja Turtles. So hopefully check that out soon. And other stuff, but that's mostly what it is. Hey, Derek, did you see they re-released Hero Quest, and did you get it?
No, what? What'd they do? I zoned out.
They re-released Hero Quest.
Hero Quest.
No, I did not see that.
Yeah, it's they re-released Hero Quest, and I went ahead and got it, and me and my kids might be playing that too. It's like a board gameized version of D&D.
Oh, sweet.
But, yeah, that's a blast.
Well, hey, I didn't.
I
didn't do this earlier. So, guys, do us a favor. Give us a thumbs up if you can. And if you're enjoying this show, subscribe to the channel. If you hit that notification bell, we'll send you a reminder whenever we go on live or whenever we have a new video out. If you want to help support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/ClintLikesEverything. If you can't remember that, there's a link in the description. And lastly, if there's something you want us to talk about on the show, message me on social media. I'm the OG Clint Baker on all my socials, but you can find all this information in the description for this video. Anyway, let's get to it. There you go, guys. Well, guys, Charlie, Derek, Curtis, everybody, thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. Everybody in the chat, thanks, as always, for supporting us. All of our patrons, thank you for supporting us. We're here every Friday, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have all the latest news and entertainment buzz going on out there. We'll see you in a little bit for Versus, and thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you soon.